Okay, so picture this. You walk into a big, high-stakes presentation.
Hmm.
The client's there, coffee's getting cold, and you're just, sweating because you've got this tangled mess of HDMI
Oh,
cables.
the cable snake. I know it well.
And of course, it doesn't reach the podium. We've all had that dream, right, of just cutting the cord completely.
It's the ultimate dream for any AV setup.
Right.
But then you try it with, a standard casting dongle, and it's a total nightmare. Buffering, lag.
Exactly. But today, we're looking at a device that claims to solve the professional side of that problem.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive on the Kramer KW-14T wireless HD transmitter. We've been looking at the specs and reviews from HD TV Supply to see if this thing really delivers on that invisible cable promise.
And the mission here is pretty specific, right? Can you get wireless video that actually feels, well, that feels wired.
Secure, instant, high fidelity, all of it.
Right.
So let's unpack the hardware. This is an indoor HDMI transmitter, and right off the bat, it can beam a signal to 4 separate receivers at once.
Which is already more than your average consumer device.
Way more. But the spec that really jumped out at me wasn't the number of screens, it was the speed. They're claiming 0 latency.
That is a massive claim. I mean, usually in wireless video, low latency comes with a big asterisk.
Yeah, it means a few milliseconds of delay you probably won't notice.
Probably.
But it matters. If you're just watching a movie, fine. But what if you're moving a mouse on a presentation screen and the cursor is just dragging through molasses?
Precisely. It makes the whole system feel broken. Kramer is really pushing 0 latency here because it's built for real-time interaction. You need that mouse to feel responsive.
And to do that without compressing the image to death, you need a huge pipe. I saw the data rate is listed at 6.75 gigabits per second.
And for anyone listening, that isn't just a big number for show.
No.
That's the difference between a crisp, uncompressed feed and, a muddy, blocky mess.
It's what allows for things like 12-bit deep color and 5.1 channel audio. It's basically pushing an uncompressed HD signal up to 1080p, 60 hertz, over almost 100 feet.
98 feet, to be exact.
Okay, but here's where I get a little skeptical. 100 feet is great in a vacuum, but what about a modern office? I mean, you've got 50 smartphones in the room, Wi-Fi routers everywhere. Usually that kind of environment just crushes a wireless video signal.
That is the single biggest hurdle for wireless AV. But this device, the KW-14T, it uses something called automatic frequency selection to handle that.
So it's actively scanning, like a high-end router hopping channels to find a clear lane.
Exactly that. It listens to the RF spectrum in the room and automatically picks frequencies that aren't clogged up. It's actively dodging interference to keep that stream solid.
So it protects the signal from outside noise? But what about protecting the content? If I'm casting, say, quarterly financials, I don't want someone in the parking lot sniffing the feed.
And that's the professional part again. This thing uses AES 128-bit data encryption. Your consumer casting stick is often an open book. This creates a completely locked, secure tunnel. For corporate or government clients, that kind of encryption is, it's non-negotiable.
It seems to have some smart set-it-and-forget-it features, too. I saw it has a sleep mode.
Oh yeah, that's a small thing. That's actually a big deal.
Right. We've all seen that meeting room TV that's been left on for 3 days straight.
It saves the hardware. It just shuts down after 3 minutes of no input. Plus, it has auto ED adjustment, which basically means it talks to the TV so you don't get that input not supported error.
Now, looking at the market context, this info is from HDTV Supply. They've got a great rating, 4.7 out of 5. But something else in the reviews stood out to me.
Well, what that?
It was the human support. In an age where customer service means fighting a chatbot, reviewers were actually shouting out specific people for helping them troubleshoot. That's a huge hidden value.
It is. And at a price point of, what, $520?
Yeah, discounted from $650.
Yeah, at that price, you expect that level of service. This clearly isn't for watching YouTube in your bedroom.
No, this is firmly in that prosumer or enterprise category. You buy this because you can't drill through a wall, but you absolutely cannot afford a glitchy presentation.
It really shifts wireless video from being a simple convenience to a legitimate utility.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If zero latency encrypted wireless is finally this reliable, are we maybe approaching the end of physical cabling for complex rooms entirely?
It's definitely getting harder to justify the cost of running conduit and repairing drywall.
Something to think about the next time you're untangling that snake pit of cables. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive.